All right, let's talk about DeepMind. This is the story of an absolutely audacious, decade-long quest to build, well, the ultimate thinking machine.
You gotta hear this quote. It sets the stakes so high. When Demis Hassabis, one of the co-founders of DeepMind, talks about AGI, that's Artificial General Intelligence, he doesn't even compare it to something like the internet, no. He says it's more like electricity or fire. I mean, think about that. A fundamental force that changes everything. That's the kind of ambition we're diving into here. Okay, so where does this all begin? We have to go back to the very start, to the dream of AGI itself. And you have to understand, this was a goal so huge, so sci-fi, that for the longest time, people thought it was basically impossible.
So what even is AGI? Well, it's kind of the holy grail of this whole field. We're not talking about an AI that's just really good at one thing, like playing chess. We're talking about an AI that can learn and adapt and solve any problem a person can. The mission here wasn't just to build some clever program. It was, and this is a direct quote from Hassabis, to solve intelligence itself. Just wild. And here's the crazy part. While Demis Hassabis and his co-founder, Shane Legg, were completely obsessed with this idea of AGI, pretty much nobody else was. Seriously. In academic circles back then, if you said you were working on AI, it was almost embarrassing. It basically meant you weren't a serious scientist. So these guys were kind of guarding this secret dream that almost no one else took seriously. And that, of course, led to a huge problem. Imagine you're pitching this monumental idea to solve intelligence, and the investors just look at you and ask, okay, but what's your product? You can see why Hassabis found that question so prosaic, so, boring. How on earth do you get money for a mission that could change the world if you don't have a simple gadget to sell?
So, they needed proof. How do you show the world that your radical ideas aren't just fantasy? Well, DeepMind turned to a really clever, really disciplined training ground for their new AI, video games.
Their first big test, teaching one single AI to play a bunch of old Atari games. And honestly, it was a nerve-wracking start. The AI couldn't even handle Pong. Can you imagine? The team started to worry, maybe we're just wrong about all this. But then it happened. A breakthrough. It scored its first point. Then it won a whole game. And just a few months after that, no human on the planet could beat it. And then came the truly incredible part. In the game Breakout, it did something no one taught it to do. It invented a brand new strategy, all by itself, tunneling through the bricks to clear the screen super efficiently. That was the proof they'd been looking for.
Okay, so Atari was conquered. What's next? They set their sights on a much bigger challenge, the ancient game of Go. People called this the holy grail for AI because it is just mind-bogglingly complex. Get this, there are more possible board positions in Go than there are atoms in the known universe. I mean, let that sink in. For that reason, a lot of experts believed a machine could never truly master it.
And this all led to one of the most legendary human versus machine showdowns ever. In one corner, you have Lee Sedol, basically the Roger Federer of Go, a human champion known for his beautiful, creative, intuitive style. And in the other corner, AlphaGo, an AI that trained first by studying 100,000 human games and then by playing against itself millions and millions of times, learning from every single mistake, getting better with every match. The whole match, really, is remembered for one single jaw-dropping moment, Move 37. It was a move so bizarre, so completely unexpected, that the expert commentators were just speechless. They were baffled. AlphaGo later calculated that the probability of a human master playing that exact move was about 1 in 10,000. It wasn't just a good move. It felt like a moment of pure alien creativity. It completely defined the game. Look, AlphaGo's victory wasn't just about a board game. Not at all. This sent shockwaves around the world. For China, especially, it became what they called their Sputnik moment. A massive wake-up call that kicked off a whole new kind of space race, but this time, it was for AI supremacy. It was a signal to everyone that something truly new had just arrived on planet Earth. But here's the thing. Games were always just the beginning. They were the training ground. The real goal was to take these incredibly powerful algorithms and point them at real-world problems. And DeepMind's next target was one of the biggest scientific challenges of our time. And that challenge was something called the protein folding problem. It's been called a holy grail of biology for like 50 years. Their first shot at it back in 2018 was okay. They won a big competition, but the results weren't actually useful enough for scientists. They called it a humbling moment. So what did they do? They went back to the drawing board,
totally rebuilt the system, and in 2020, they cracked it. They solved it. And then they made this absolutely monumental decision. They decided to fold everything, to predict the structure of every known protein and just give it all away to the world for free.
The scale of this is hard to wrap your head around. We're talking about over 200 million protein structures, all predicted by AlphaFold and just released. A massive database that they literally called gifts to humanity. This wasn't just a small step forward, this was a breakthrough set to completely revolutionize medicine and biology as we know it.
Okay, but with this kind of incredible, world-changing power comes a profound, heavy responsibility. And that brings us to our final chapter here, this idea of an Oppenheimer moment, the feeling of unleashing a powerful new force onto the world.
And I mean, think about that parallel. It's so powerful. The people creating AGI are now being compared to the scientists who created the atomic bomb. It's a heavy comparison, but it really highlights the immense weight of the ethical decisions they're facing right now. They know they're unleashing a technology that has the power to reshape our entire world, for good or for bad.
So it's become crystal clear that the old Silicon Valley mantra, move fast and break things, that is exactly what we should not be doing here. The risks are just too big. We're talking about everything from autonomous weapons to surveillance to wars that could happen faster than any human can even comprehend. And the thing is, AGI is coming. Whether it's from DeepMind or somewhere else, it's on its way. The only way we get through this safely is with really careful, really thoughtful global coordination.
Which leaves us with one final and maybe the most critical question of all. A lot of people in this field believe that AGI is going to draw a line in human history. There's going to be before AGI and after AGI. So the challenge really for every single one of us is how do we make sure that the after part is a future we actually want to live in?